On your mark. Get ready. It's time to go the distance. For sports news and sports review, get ready. It's The Pitch.
Hello everyone and welcome to The Pitch. As always, I'm your host John Fox alongside here with Mitch Sabbatelli and Mike Peps Perrone. Now, today is a MLB special, as we have not really talked about MLB for the last few episodes, with the Stanley Cup Finals and the NBA Finals. We're going to just focus this episode on MLB, as there's really no other news right now in any of the sports, in any of the four main sports, except for baseball, obviously. We're going to start with the AL East. We're going to talk about them. We're going to start with the Red Sox. Thoughts on the Red Sox so far at the halfway point right now? We're going to start with you today, Mitch. Thoughts?
Yeah, I think they're pretty much where everyone thought they would be. Right at the top, contending with the Yankees throughout the whole entire year. The rest of the AL East has really fallen off. I'm shocked by how bad Baltimore is, considering their offense is still pretty good. But Chris Davis has been terrible.
Chris Davis is having one of the most historically bad seasons of all time. He's batting a $180.
Right, but as far as the
6 homers,
as far as the Red Sox go, I think JD Martinez is proving to be the best signing in Red Sox history since Manny Ramirez. And without JD Martinez and Mookie Betts, this team goes when those two guys go. Devers has had some growing pains. His swing seems to be coming along. Xander is always up and down. He's always consistent. He's never going to be that superstar. He's always a fringe all-star. But really, when Mookie was out of the lineup, that's when the offense started to fade. When he's back, that's when Mookie and JD and Andrew Benintendi has been tearing it up.
There's only two sure outs on the Red Sox, in the depth chart right now, and that's at the catcher position and Jackie Bradley Jr.
And really second base too until Pedroia comes back. But
yeah, but it's the Red Sox have to. The Red Sox have to. The Red Sox can't just rely on Jackie Bradley Jr.'s good outfielding. That's not an MLB player, if you just ask me.
It's all about
you just have him for his defense.
He basically helped win the game the other day. He went 3 for 3, but they're praising him for going for 3 for 3. But meanwhile, they go, yeah, he hadn't had a hit in 5 previous games.
Yeah,
that's not good.
And as far as the rotation goes, Sale's been lights out. He finally got the run support yesterday. He's as good as he was last year. Price has been really good recently, and Porcello looks more like his 2016 form than he did in 2017, which is great news. If they can keep a consistent Erod, I think that's going to be great and do wonders for this team. Joe Kelly looks great as the setup role, but I really like them to get another solid reliever at the deadline.
I think they need to go get a reliever. I think that guy from the A's, Thienen, I think he could be good to help
trainer.
with. Yeah, I think he could be good for them. Honestly, the thing is, another thing that I saw also is that the Padres don't have that great of a team, but they have a stacked bullpen.
Brad Hand, baby.
We could go get Brad Hand, but might have to pay a little bit for him. But I think that honestly, it comes down to the rotation. I think Erod coming in and he's 9-2.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, Price has been doing well. He's 6-0 in his last 7 starts.
Can't help but feel bad for Chris Sale. What's his record?
Chris Sale gets no run support. He's got the best ERA. He's got 2.5 ERA.
13 Ks yesterday.
Yeah.
First game of the season. Game of the season, he went 8 innings shutout, and then the bullpen comes in, blows that one.
He's a beast.
And the biggest thing here, I think a huge key to the Red Sox success will be a healthy Craig Kimbrell, because you cannot afford to lose
Kimbrell,
him.
yes.
You need to have him there down the stretch. And the biggest key is, and the huge thing for Alex Cora, I think, a first-year manager, learn from prior season's mistakes. Rest your starters if you can. Rest them up, because Sale had too much action toward the end of the season last year, and he got worn out when push came to shove in the playoffs.
Right.
I think they need to focus on rest and balancing
starts.
of the rotation. I think Kevin Erod in there, maybe use up some more starts. Maybe get Stephen Wright in there if you can waste a few, and if he can win games maybe not 14-10 the other day, but I think that rest and being smart with your rotation is going to be key to the Red Sox success, because pitching wins baseball.
And I think, like Pep said, Alex Cora's done a tremendous job right now. Chris Sale had 13 strikeouts and looks absolutely phenomenal yesterday and went through 7 innings, and he was in the 90 pitch range. So everyone's like, why is he taking him out in the 8th inning? But like Pep said, last year John Farrell used him a little bit too much. He kind of had to because the offense wasn't as good. And Cora's stepping into. Everyone's always talking about how Cora's much better than Farrell. He didn't have JD Martinez last year. Mookie was on an off year. But now I think Cora's been managing that team perfectly well. Knock on wood, they've been relatively healthy with the exception of a few people. And Drew Pomeranz is coming back, and it's going to be interesting to see how he utilizes him, whether he goes in the bullpen. Because outside of Wright's last start, I mean, this rotation has been really good. One thing I'd like to see, though, is Erod to have an absolute dominant game. He always has, a solid game, 6 innings, maybe 2 runs. But when you're watching him, he never really seems, it's not like watching Chris Sale or David Price, in his prime, and it's like, all right, this guy's on, this guy's on. It's always like even in Rick Porcello, he's on when he's getting Ks and getting those ground ball outs. I never see that with Erod. It's always quality start here, quality start there. I never see that 8 innings, 10 Ks, 1-run game that I really want to see from Erod.
Well, so what do you really want from a fourth rotation?
No, that's true.
But I mean, he's getting honestly at that point, it's like he's finding a way to get the wins.
That's true.
So I mean,
it's also a product of run support with him.
True, he's getting the run support. So.
Okay, moving on. We'll start with you this time, Peps. Thoughts on the New York Yankees to this point?
I think they've been doing great. The only issue I think is going to be for the Yankees is I think they really should be going out at the trade deadline and getting another starter. Because I don't think CC Sabathia being your second pitcher behind Severino is going to work out for you in the long run.
Right.
I don't know how much gas he's going to have left in the tank when come September. So I think that the Yankees should go out and dish it out for a starting pitcher, and I think also Sanchez hasn't been hitting that well, but also putting him being on the DL isn't really is going to hurt a little bit. But I think that they have a very solid lineup, and I think that their rotation is decent enough to where they can get away with it for right now. But when you come playoff time, I really don't think they're going to beat teams like the Red Sox or the Astros. And the way the Indians have been playing, if they can keep that up, I mean, I don't think they'd beat the Yankees in a series, but I think that they'd give them a good series and could upset them. I think the Yankees could struggle come second half of the season if they don't go get that starter that I think they really need to help complement Severino.
No, I agree completely. I mean, you look at that depth chart and up and down that lineup. I mean, you guys got like Miguel Andujar.
That's why I don't
Torres.
think they'll struggle that much as people expect them.
It's just so good.
Like you can get by with Sonny Gray, like German.
And Tanaka's coming back.
But
he's
on the 10-day DL. I mean,
Brian Cashman's not afraid to make that splash.
Do you think they'll go after Jake DeGrom?
I was just going to say the guy they're going to get is across the subway. It's going to be Jake DeGrom. They're going to get him.
They were talking about that.
And I think they're going to probably package Andujar. They don't have a huge.
Who can't they really? They can really just get anybody they want. They can trade for Bryce Harper. I mean, he shaved a couple weeks ago.
He's ready to go.
A lot of speculations and conspiracy theories that since he was faced the Yankee series coming up, that he was getting ready to join them, join their ship.
Man Machado maybe, but. I mean, against that lineup, you got basically the captain role. Really underrated player is Brett Gardner, and of course you got the Judge. I know he's hurt, but Sanchez, Giancarlo,
Gleyber Torres.
I think Didi Gregorius is a huge piece of that.
Yeah, he's been off lately, but he is really good and really good defensively too. But like Fox said, I do see. I mean, the pitching is the issue. I think they're going to go out there and get a Jake DeGrom, and everyone says the bullpen hasn't been as good. I mean, I'll take that bullpen any day.
Yeah, but
when I have Dylan Betances and David Robinson as my setup guys, Jason Shreve.
I think but Betances has been good, but I think it's mainly been Robinson and
Holden's
Chapman.
been good.
I think too. But I take their bullpen, but their bullpen needs to be phenomenal if they're going to have that rotation that they have now.
Yeah, right.
Well,
they got Sonny Gray last year. I don't see why they won't look anywhere else.
They need to get a big one.
There's a lot of bad teams this year, and a lot of people are going to be shopping guys. And I think one guy that everyone's going to be looking for at the deadline is Jake DeGrom. And I think the Mets are probably smart to get rid of him.
Okay. So with having said all that, Mitch, who is your pick to win the AL East?
Well, this is the thing. I mean, maybe the best two teams. I still have the Astros up there, but I think Red Sox and Yankees are probably the best two teams right there with the Astros. It's kind of unfair to have a one-game playoff in the wild card, in my opinion. I think as in a couple of years, I think you're going to see a 3-5-5-7 format instead of the 1-5-7-7 format. I think it's going to change to that. And I agree with that because you can't have let's say the Red Sox needed a win to get in, and I know people say, well, they should have had a better lead earlier, and that is true. And you do play the Yankees a series every time in the entire month. But let's say they need a win at the end, and Chris Sale's out there, or Luis Severino's out there. You're going to have a guy, your best two pitchers, Sale and Severino, if they pitch at the end and they're not able to pitch in that wild card game, you can run into a team, just a bad. I mean, the Yankees' best pitcher is not Sonny Gray; it's Severino. So if I want to see a wild card game, I want Severino or Sale out there, and that's not fair if they had just pitched. I want to see a 3-game thing. With that said,
they would plan for that though.
Yeah, that's true. And with that said, I think the Yankees will go out there and get a starter. I think the Red Sox are going to stay pretty even keel at the deadline.
Yeah.
I think the Yankees are going to be there. I think Sale's going to be pitching in that one game.
But when it comes down to it, I just think that the point you just made is the reason why the Yankees are not the better team. You have to hope that you can get. It's like with the Braves. It was like, back in the day, it was like my dad told me there was a saying: spawn insane and pray for rain. Like you have those two guys pitch, and you'd hope that it would rain so you could have them pitch again. Because
the Red Sox have the pitching.
Well, I'm saying the Yankees really don't, in my opinion.
The Red Sox don't have the bullpen.
I think the Red Sox don't have. I think the Red Sox have a little bit worse.
On any part of that.
I think they have a little bit worse. A little bit
terrific.
I think the Yankees might have the slide. I think the Yankees have the edge in the bullpen.
That's two people.
Oh, yeah.
That's a closer.
But the Red Sox have the edge in the starting rotation.
Well, they're going to.
Joe Kelly can walk like 2-3 guys in a row.
Peps made a point earlier about Brad Hand, and I saw a couple of rumors out there that they might go out for him. They're asking for Rafael Devers. I'm not giving up Rafael Devers for Brad Hand. But the thing is, the Red Sox
other
don't have
pieces that they can get too.
There's not really any prospects there. You got Michael Chavis, who's out there with steroids, and he's serving a suspension.
Give up Eduardo
Jason
Nunez or somebody in like a package deal for like just a
I think you would have to. They're going to be trying to look to trade Bradley. I would even possibly, when Pomeranz going back, maybe use Erod as a chip. But
I think the Red Sox have the better, deeper team, and I think they have better average hitters. Their power hitters are also average hitters.
Yep,
that's true.
Betts and Martinez are both batting .325 plus. Martinez leads in ribbies, and he ties the lead for home runs.
The one difference, I agree with you. I think they're both. I mean, it's a moot point because they're both going to be in the playoffs. It's just a matter of who's going to get in there.
I think the Sox are going to get the pennant. I think Sox are going to get the
difference is
division
the
again.
Yankees haven't been playing on all cylinders. I haven't yet to see Judge have that year that he had last year. I've yet to see that year that Stanton had. I think we've seen the best of the Red Sox. At the beginning of the year, they were all clicking on all cylinders, which is kind of scary to think. When you get Tanaka coming back, and you probably get another guy like a DeGrom or somebody else, I think the Yankees are going to start to pull away.
Potential only means something if you reach it. If the Yankees don't reach it, then it doesn't matter.
We'll see.
True. All right. Moving on to the AL Central. Peps, we'll go to you for this one. Thoughts on the Indians right now? Can anyone catch them in their division?
I'll put it this way: if they were in any other division, they'd be trying to catch somebody else.
Yeah, I know.
Because the Indians are lucky to be in the AL Central because they have trash teams behind them. Mm-hmm. They have a few rebuilding teams. The Royals got rid of all their players. The Tigers are the Tigers are in second, but they're still they're rebuilding, but they're like under 500 anyways. I don't believe in the White Sox, and I really just don't think that anyone is going to get. I don't think. I mean, the Twins might be the only team. The Twins might have been the only team that could have had a shot, possibly. But I don't think that anybody's going to catch the Indians. The Indians are a very average team. I don't think that. I think that they're just going to dominate their division, and they've already swept the Tigers recently. So I mean, the Indians are going to take that division and get bumped right out of the first round immediately. I mean, if Kluber, Bauer, but it's pretty much the same squad minus a few in my mind. I don't think it's really anything special.
Yeah, one big thing with the Indians is I think, like Pep said, this division is complete trash. And I think Terry Francona knows this and is utilizing that to their best advantage because everyone always says, oh, yeah, the Indians, they should be doing a lot better than they have been. But the reason last year, the Twins are really good. Buxton's fall off. Brian Dozier's fallen off. You got Max Kepler's been terrible. Sano is now in single A, and the Twins are nowhere. Now the Indians know this. They know they're going to win the division in a landslide, so they can afford to keep Andrew Miller out. And their bullpen's been terrible, but I think they're going to go out there and possibly try to get Brad Hand. I think Brad Hand might be an Indian when it's all said and done. And I think that rotation, Trevor Bauer's been terrific. Mike Clevenger's been terrific. And Corey Kluber might be the most underrated superstar in baseball. He's going to be my pick to win that, to be the starter for the All-Star game. And I love what Francona is doing again. Once they get healthy, they still have guys like Lonnie Chisenhall hitting over 300. And obviously the best left side of the infield in the game, and Jose Ramirez and Francisco Lindor. I think they're going to be fine. They were my pick.
Let's not forget
to get to the
Michael
World
Brantley.
Series.
He's batting 315.
Michael Brantley's
He's batting
terrific.
He's batting 315, 316.
The only thing is Andrew Miller needs to get healthy, and they need to get another reliever on top.
I don't know why they went after Edwin Encarnacion. That one, to lock him up for how many? What was his deal?
I think it was only 4 years.
It was only 4 years.
And he had a decent year last year.
Still a decent amount of years.
Yeah, but
Anything
he's
over-
just,
anything
he's
over
just
two
a, he's
is
just a strict
a lot,
he's just
I
a strict home run hitter.
But he's
now.
You can put him in the middle, and it's kind of sends some kind of shock.
He's just home
You
run.
have a power
home run
threat.
or bust. But
I agree.
All right, we'll move on. Mitch, AL West time. Can anybody catch the Astros right now?
No. Seattle's given all it can, but
They went on a 10-game win streak.
But the thing is with Seattle is they never blow teams out. They win a ton of one-run games. Edwin Diaz has a bunch of saves for a reason because he's always in that opportunity.
Mitch Haniger.
Mitch Haniger's been terrific. Third in the league in RBIs.
58 RBIs.
Yeah.
Wow.
But Seattle took a huge blow with that Cano thing. I know they're getting him back. One guy who's just really always underrated is Nelson Cruz. Everyone always thinks that he's going to get injured or maybe hurt, or maybe his age kind of finally catches up to him. But no, he's always solid. But I like this lineup up and down. I just don't think the rotation, other than James Paxton, really does anything for me. I think they go out there and try to look for a big-name starter to have any chance. But the Astros are just the most complete team in all of baseball.
Absolutely.
You have that rotation
Easily.
in the
Best AL
bullpen.
team. There you go.
If your worst pitcher is Dallas Keuchel in your rotation,
Yeah.
then that's
That's
not
like-
really
yeah.
a problem in my eyes.
No.
I mean, they also got Cole, which has been huge, right? He's
been
nine.
terrific.
He's 9-1. They have another guy in there who's their fifth pitcher, who's
Lance
like
McCullers.
9-2.
Charlie
McCullers,
Morton.
yeah,
Yep.
Charlie Morton. Everybody is pitching great, and then you have Verlander at the top.
Probably
who's
gonna
like,
get Cy Young.
yeah, he's unbelievable. You have 4 starters that have 9+ wins. I mean, it's not even fair.
Yep.
And then they have all that young talent. That core is going to be together for years past through 2020.
Yep.
So I don't see how the Astros don't just keep dominating the AL. I think that they're going to have a little bit of a fight with either the Red Sox or the Yankees, but I think the only real team that's going to give the Astros a fight will be the Red Sox, and that's if their pitching is at its peak with Price pitching at his top and Sale pitching at his top, and then Erod also doing well too.
Right.
Because they're going to have to shut down those bats. And the thing is, what's funny about the Astros, it's almost like Cleveland Indians-esque of a few years ago, except better because they have more talent.
Yep.
Because they have one guy that is over 15 homers. That's Gaddis, who is 16. They're just hitting the ball well. They don't need all these home runs like the Yankees and Red Sox. They're playing smart, fundamental baseball, and they're pitching phenomenal, better than anybody else in the league. So I think, like you said, they are the most complete team. It's just showing that pitching wins baseball. And then also consistent hitting and young talent is going to be around for the years. I think Houston's going to be the best team. They could be a dynasty for years to come.
They're well coached with Hinch. I think a couple things that are underrated with I think Verlander is back to his 06-07 type form.
Unbelievable.
And that top 4 with Springer and Bregman and Correa and Altuve. Altuve's probably going to have another MVP
344 right now.
Candidacy. But the other thing that people say is Houston's bullpen isn't as good as last year. I got 2 names for you. Brad Peacock was the 3rd best pitcher in that team last year. He was the 3rd starter. He's in the bullpen now, and Hinch is going to do what he did last year with Charlie Morton. He's not going to make that top 3 playoff rotation. It's going to be McCullers, Cole, and Verlander. So you're going to have Keuchel, Charlie Morton, and Peacock in the freaking bullpen to go with Kenja. I think this team is just so equipped to win another couple titles, and the division is just a joke. They're going to win this division with a landslide. They are the best team in the AL.
Okay, and another thing, I think last year they really weren't ready for the Yankees. Like I think they kind of overlooked them a little, like they were just going to blow right past them because they were such a sick team.
Yep.
But now I think they're actually ready for that, and they understand that the Yankees have a bolstered hitting lineup, and they understand.
They could be like Warriors-esque.
I honestly believe that.
It's like they're going to get better with age, and they just won.
Yeah.
True. All right, moving on. Peps, who is the AL's MVP right now?
I mean, personally, I maybe call a little bit biased, but I think, and I'm saying this because I feel bad in a way because about a month to 2 months ago, I said I think the JD Martinez signing was a terrible deal. I shouldn't have given him all this money.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's plenty of other candidates as Trout And I think, you can even throw Betts in there too. But I mean, I'm personally, because of that, I'm going to go with JD Martinez to be a little bit different. I think he's having a phenomenal year. He is filling that Ortiz-esque role that they have not had in the last few years. And I think he spreads the ball. He does a fantastic job. He's hitting for average. He's hitting for power. He's driving and runs. He's coming through when you need him to. And I think that if he keeps on this pace, I think he could and will be the AL MVP. I think he's doing a fantastic job, and I would give him my personal vote currently.
Yeah, I think that nickname that they have with JD Martinez as Just Dingers doesn't do him justice. I think his overall hitting is just so underrated.
He's batting like 320.
He's so clutch, and
with
he gets
60
these hits.
RBIs, 23 home runs to lead the league. He could win the Triple Crown.
Yeah. I think ultimately, though, I think the only thing that's going to hinder JD's chances is because Mookie's with him as well, so he might take away some of the votes. Like Peps said, Trout with the whole WAR and technicalities of baseball, he's going to get some votes. I still think it's Altuve, who's hitting 350, and he plays just tremendous defense as well in the second place. Yeah, he's one of my favorite players that I've ever seen, and I think, those four guys, it's a crapshoot.
Anyway, you can give anyway. Yeah, I mean.
All right, going back, Mitch. Let's just ask this question. Out of the three teams, Yankees, Red Sox, Astros, who's the best?
Yeah, I mean, it's easier for the Astros to be the best because of their division.
And they've been the best.
But they are the most complete team. Although I do think the Red Sox, with Dombrowski, and the Yankees with all their young chips, have a chance to do some damage at the deadline.
The Red Sox get a very good reliever, then I think that they got a chance. But they need Erod to be. Erod's the wild card. He needs to be that fourth rotation guy if we're gonna have any chance against a team like the Astros, that rotation.
And Price needs to be solid.
And Price needs to just chill out in the Fortnite a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, definitely. Moving on. The All-Star Game is coming up pretty much this month. We're at the end of June here. Thoughts on the vote leaders at this point? Who would like to take it?
I'll take this one.
Got it.
Well, I think right now, the fans are getting it right. I mean, the outfield, you got Judge, Trout, and Mookie. And then in the infield, you got Jose Ramirez, Manny Machado, Jose Altuve, Jose Abreu. And the one random one is Wilson Ramos, but only because the catching position is so weak. Like Fox said, Sanchez is hitting below 200. I'd still probably give it to Sanchez. The only thing I'd like to see is...
If you're trying to look for a catcher in fantasy baseball this year, you're screwed.
Yeah, right.
Like, there's literally no good catchers at all. Like, remember Jonathan Lucroy?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
The only thing I would have liked to see...
There's literally no good catchers in MLB right now.
Francisco Lindor.
Buster Posey, Wilson Ramos.
Yeah, that's about it. Not even him.
I can't even think of a...
Perez is hurt.
I can't even think of anybody batting
I mean,
over
if you're
like
batting under, if
275.
you're batting under 200, I don't think you should be this. I think it should go to Ramos.
Yeah.
Sanchez
Yeah,
batting 190, and he's on
Plus,
the 10-day DL.
Every
also.
team needs to be represented. So
yeah, they got plenty of Yankees in there, anyways.
The other thing is Miguel Cabrera's hurt, and Pujols has been horrible. So now they open up a position in first base. So I like to see these guys like Jose Abreu get in there. But yeah, I think the fans are getting it right for a change, unlike that time where they put nothing but Royals in.
Yeah. All right, Peps, who will start for the AL in the All-Star Game? Pitching.
Pitcher.
Pitcher? I think it's going to be... I honestly think it's going to be Verlander.
Yeah.
I think Verlander's going to start. He's got the pedigree.
Get
He's
Kluber second.
The best. Kluber right in there, too.
Kluber second.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right after him, throw him right in there.
I would say those two.
I think there's four.
Maybe Severino, too, in there.
Those are the
they
four.
Throw Severino in there.
I think it's going to be Verlander just because he's the bigger name.
Verlander,
I'd love to see Kluber in
Severino,
there. But I think
Sale.
I think Verlander brings in a couple things. People love to watch Verlander pitch. He's got the Kate Upton thing. So I think he draws a lot more fans in there. So they're going to put Justin Verlander in there. But I think Verlander, Kluber, Severino, and then Sale. Sale had like 3 really bad games. And other than that, he's been dominant. And just his record's been not as good. So, but I think it's going to be Verlander.
Okay, well, moving on to shifting gears to the NL side of this. We only have under 5 minutes right now, so it's going to have to be quick.
Rapid fire?
Yes, rapid fire. All right, we'll start with Peps. Are the Braves for real this year?
I think it's nice to see a nice young team that was having a bad season last season become good, but I don't think they're for real. I think it's the Nationals division to win.
Yeah, I mean, their rotation's getting a little bit better with Voltinowicz and Soroka, but Freddie Freeman's going to be the MVP in the NL. He's been terrific. Ronald Acuna was having a great rookie campaign, and then he got hurt. Nick Markakis is not going to keep this up. As far as making the playoffs, yeah, they're going to make the playoffs, but are they a real contender? No, and they're not even the best team in that division.
Mitch, Milwaukee has the NL's best record right now. That's pretty sad
Yeah.
saying that.
NL's terrible.
What's their record?
55 and something.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Are they the Central's best?
I'm going to say right now, yeah, and I think Dave Stearns is a really good GM for them. I think they're going to go out there and get another pitcher. The Cubs, I just don't know what's going on.
I honestly did not even realize they had 50-something wins.
Yeah,
At this point.
the Cubs rotation has been scaring me lately, and they've had a lot of injuries. I think they're getting a little. Their whole team's getting a little tired, and they're not going to do anything at the deadline. Steve Epstein does most of his work in the off season. I think Dave Stearns is going to go out there and get another pitcher. But that lineup, when they added Christian Yelich and Lorenzo Cain, guys like Jesus Aguilar and Travis Shaw, really anchoring that team. I think all around, the Cubs are probably the best team, but the Brewers are going to win that division.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Cubs.
Cubs?
I went with the Brewers last year to take down the Cubs near the end of the season. I'm not going to go with them again. I think the Cubs are going to do it.
Yeah.
All right. Peps, moving on to the West. Thoughts on that mess over there?
It's a pretty big mess. I mean, the Diamondbacks are in first.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? I mean, I don't know. I think the Diamondbacks are also another young, good team, and I think they're even a better story almost than I think the Braves. But I would have to probably just say, based on prior years, I still think the Dodgers division to win.
Yeah.
I think also the revival of Matt Kemp helps. He's having a phenomenal year. I think
nowhere.
I think the
Justin
Dodgers
Turner?
are going to
The
get
injuries,
Yeah, he's
the
injured.
injury.
And of course, he-
Alex Wood.
I have all the injuries.
Not living up to what
them.
they thought he should last year
agree
with
with
a
Peps,
stellar
though.
performance.
I think the best player in the division is Paul Goldschmidt, and the Diamondbacks are going to be in the.
He's vastly underperformed this year too. He's batting
he's getting. Last month he's been terrific.
last month. Well, his batting, he started off really slow.
Yeah, he did.
His batting average was like 240 for Paul Goldschmidt. That's pretty.
Now he's back up to the 280 clip and has close to 20 home runs. He's had a huge last month.
Well, I haven't been tuning in that much to Diamondbacks baseball,
Yeah.
so you'll have to forgive me.
I still think it's the Dodgers division. I think, like Pep said, Matt Kemp coming out of nowhere again and being Matt Kemp of old. And then Clayton Kershaw is coming back. I think, honestly, for a team to have won that division, they should have taken advantage of the Dodgers by now. And I think the Dodgers are only going to have a good second half year. And I think they're going to win.
All right, perfect. Final thought. Thoughts on the NL All-Star Game voting right now? Who would like to take this?
Yeah, I'll take it. The NL's far inferior to the AL. I mean, the best
Absolutely.
outfielder right now, the leading is Nick Markakis, so that shows you right there. They're doing pretty well. Markakis is having a pretty good year. They still have Arenado. A lot of Braves there. Markakis, Ozzie Albies, and Freddie Freeman.
Odubel Herrera
He should be in there.
going
yeah,
on a
for
tear
sure.
right now. He has 5 homers in his last 6 games.
Brandon Crawford, very underrated. But yeah, if these votings hold up, AL should win in a landslide. Yeah.
Who's your starting pitcher?
Oh, it's Max Scherzer. I think he's the best pitcher in baseball
That's
right now.
pretty clear.
Pretty much, yeah. All right. Well, that pretty much sums up this episode of The Pitch. Be sure to follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, The Works, Vimeo. And until next time, guys, you're watching The Pitch.